So we've got Lee Ennis, the owner and independent consultant with LeeEnnisTax.com. They're located in Dallas, Fort Worth, and Honolulu as well. All right. So financial literacy is his passion. Let's get to see what he's got for all of us. Lee, welcome to our Business Intelligence and Business Networking podcast.
Thank you very much for having me on. I really appreciate the opportunity to talk and discuss about what I do.
Absolutely. So we would be more interested in knowing your story for what you do. And I did see your Facebook, and I can simply understand that financial thing is your passion. So we already know the story, and we still want to know a bit of it. And then please tell us who all could be our potential clients and customers, and what kind of value proposition would you have for them if they want to reach you?
My journey started back in high school, where I realized at some point that we were being taught how to add, subtract, and multiply money, but not really how to make it. And I knew that there were people in the world that were making lots of money, and at the time it seemed to be sort of a secret. And me being who I am, I sought out what that secret was, and so of course that took me into reading and learning and attending different seminars, and eventually went on to college and university to study finance and economics. And I realized that it wasn't a secret, but there was knowledge out there that wasn't mainstream. And so the more I learned, the more I realized just how much people didn't know. And so my goal has always been to take the information and services that many think are reserved for the affluent and make them available to the everyday person.
That's a myth. So great. I mean, I guess people are definitely gonna want to listen to you, because now people started understanding managing their own finances, and it's just that probably they're always looking for reliable partners who could do this. So yeah, so please let us know who could be your customers. I do see the website that you do have individual as well as business clients. So how do you choose your customers?
Well, I liken my profession to a physical trainer, right? Okay. So individuals that are looking to make their financial health better, looking to tweak their financial health, is kind of who I'm going after. No different than those who want to, get in shape, right? Maybe lose some weight or become healthier physically. I want to do the same thing for persons financially.
Absolutely. So, this is a very common question. I guess it might please don't be surprised if I ask you this one. There are a lot of people who want to get advice on crypto investments. Does that come into your territory as well?
No, I dabble in crypto. I'm not an expert at all. If someone wanted my advice, I may be able to help them understand how momentum trading works, but that's as far as I go with cryptocurrency.
All right. And do you help people picking up stocks? Do you advise them on investing in stocks for long term, stuff like that?
Yes, I do. Yeah, fundamental analysis is my wheelhouse, and so I'm able to explain kind of how that works and how to analyze companies and what to look for when you're looking to invest in a good company.
So I would want to know, how would you put this across to a layman, like a business owner who wouldn't? There are a lot of business owners. I mean, for an example, I would take myself. I'm too scared of numbers. I generally don't talk about numbers because I do have my employees doing that, but then I get scared to talk about numbers and taxes. So are these really so complicated? or do you prefer to keep it very, do you have a way to explain these complicated things to people so that they can assimilate this thing and probably get used to managing these things?
Oh, of course, of course. I've been doing this for a long time now, and so I've gotten very good at explaining what can be a complex subject to a layperson very simply. Looking at investments no different than you look at yourself, right? What type of person are you comfortable with giving money to, right? It's something that, it's something that we do in our everyday lives. When a friend or a family member or someone says, "Hey, can you give me $100? I don't have any cash on me right now," right? What? Yeah, I'm serious. Like, what the things that we look at when determining whether or not to give this person money are the same exact things that we look at when we determine whether or not to invest in a company. So, to my mind, they're all the same. Everything in life is very simple if understood.
Sure, sure. Would you like to share some insights about finance with the audience that might be watching you? So let that be on terms of taxes. I'm not asking you to educate that because that's going to be like too much to ask for. I understand. Maybe just a few tips for taxes and for investments and for the grants, like the U.S. grants and stuff like that for small businesses. I guess that's the tip of the hour.
Yeah. Well, I have to say this first, that all of this depends on what an individual is looking for. So again, I go back to the physical trainer, right? Some are looking to become more lean. Some are looking to maybe become stronger. Some are looking to increase endurance. So it depends on what the person is looking for. But overall, at the end of the day, I think most people want to make more money and keep more of the money that they make.
Right.
And so the first step to doing that is accounting. It's simply accounting for what comes in and what goes out. And I'm talking about money, right? Keeping up with how much you're making and how much you're spending. The biggest issue that I find amongst most Americans is that they're operating with one bank account. And that's just not a great way to do things. I always recommend splitting up your liabilities and your expenses in separate bank accounts because it makes it a lot easier to manage doing so. Tax strategy, we can talk all day about different tax strategy. Again, it seriously depends on what a person is looking to do. One thing that I think is kind of funny, I always kind of throw this out there, is everyone knows the term trust fund, baby, right? But that term conjures a picture of a rich person, right, or a rich family, when in reality, all of us in some way or another are trust fund babies. The only difference is we don't have the trust fund on paper, right? But it is beneficial to have a trust set up for your family, for your children, for various reasons. Anytime that you hold money for the benefit of another person, okay? So for instance, sometimes I pay my son to do things here and there, right? But I don't allow him to spend the money on whatever he wants, right? I kind of keep control over that. And so that is what creates a trust. And when you create the trust legally on paper, what that does for you is it opens up avenues for credit, right? It opens up avenues for grants and all these things that we discussed earlier, as well as some tax advantages as well.
Talking about the small businesses, I keep getting a lot of questions sometimes about small businesses who just started like a couple of years ago, and now we're hit with the COVID thing, and they would want to know how true is this U.S. grant thing. Like, do they by any chance can get qualified for availing U.S. grants? Is that possible, or is this just some advertisement that goes on Facebook and no one knows about?
Well, honestly, there is some truth to that. And just like most things, there's also some sensationalism going on as well. As of right now, the COVID grants that are available through the SBA are basically loans. Okay, and so when you're looking at a loan, banks only want to lend to profitable businesses. No different than we discussed before about which friend are you comfortable with giving money to, right? It's really the that has some money or is making some money, you know that they're good for it, right? And so if that is what you're looking for, then it behooves you to have a profitable business, if only on paper, okay, in order to qualify for those loans and qualify for those grants. There are, however, other quote-unquote grants available to businesses that may not have anything, may not have any profit, may not have any collateral, may not have any assets at all. But even then, those grants are going to be based on your story, right? You know, what your product or services are, how you came up with them, who you serve. And that is just, you know, putting in the work of applying for these grants month after month after month. You may not get the first 10, but you may get the 11. You know, to have that is, again, just putting what you're doing on paper. You know, and I can't stress that enough. You know, it's creating that FEIN number, it's creating that business name, it's having that corporation, it's having that trust or that nonprofit, and again, it's accounting, because you want to make sure that you keep all those things separate, not only for legal purposes, but also when someone asks you, hey, let me see your records, right? You're not showing them bank statements that has, you know, your house cable bill on it. You know what I mean? It's just for your business.
Gotcha. That's very important. I guess I know a few of my friends do that. They run small businesses. They have their personal expenses done via the business account. So that might be reflecting over there, which you say is not a good thing, right? We need to keep things separate.
That's right. Yeah, it's really important. Like I said, not only for legal purposes, but also for management too. You know, it's really hard to know what your profit is if you're having to go through and pick out transactions or bank statements. It's nice to just have that one statement that shows all your business income and all your business expenses.
Awesome. So anybody who started business like, you know, somebody like formed an LLC just maybe 2 to 3 years ago, they could always reach you for getting any advice, paid advice on U.S. grants. Is that correct? I mean,
yes, for sure.
All right.
Definitely.
Awesome. There is something I'm just trying to check for, you know, I need to know, how do you charge your clients? Do you have rates displayed on the website, or it's case to case?
No, I actually have rates displayed. You can find them typically on my Google page online. Just Google Lee Ennis Dallas or Lee Ennis Houston, Lee Ennis Honolulu, and you'll see my rates there. It is typically done by the hour, and so of course different things require different amounts of time. I do charge $100 an hour. So for instance, if someone wanted to create, let's say, a corporation, right? Typically, it'll cost about $400, not including whatever state fees may be applicable. Yeah, and I just want to say too that a lot of times my prices seem very low, and that serves me well, but it also hurts me too, because there's a lot of people in the industry that charge, you know, 3, 4, 5 times what I charge.
Right.
But keep in mind though, when I started this thing, I did it because I wanted to make services available to the ordinary person, and it's really hard for me to charge someone $1,000 for something that may only take me 3 or 4 hours to do. You know,
yeah.
I mean, not to say that it's not worth
That's
it,
great, man.
but again, I wanted to make sure that everything I did was easily accessible by the general population, and so that's the reason why my prices are a bit lower than what you're used to seeing. I really want to try to grow this. Right now, it's kind of hard because I don't really have the manpower to grow it as big as I want, but I think it has the potential to get really big because right now there isn't anything out there that I know of anyway that teaches children how to invest and actually gives them the capital to invest. So yeah. So I think it's a really good idea, and I hope it continues to grow and gets bigger, and other people take part and maybe branch out and do the same in their cities.
Yeah, great. That's a great idea. So now, how are you planning to make it big? Like, apart from just, having like social presence and website, are you planning to intensify it? If you are, please share the plan with us.
Yeah, well, I have been looking over the last couple years for someone to partner with me and to take on a portion of my business. It's hard because I care, I care. And
Right.
before I will put my clients in the hands of someone else, I have to make sure that this is someone who is conscientious, but also someone who is knowledgeable and willing to work just as hard as I am for my clients. So the search continues,
Right.
and I'm sure I will find that person soon. And once that happens, then sky's the limit on just how big we can go. I think I have maybe 20 good years left. so I have some time. Yeah.
Awesome. You got to do it now then. So let me ask you the qualifications of this partner that you're looking for, or what would you expect this individual company to be doing it for you?
Well, honestly, I need another me. I need another me. I need someone just as knowledgeable, just as passionate,
Okay.
and and of course, trustworthy.
Someone who has the knowledge of marketing the services. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up because on the marketing end, I've been an entrepreneur most of my life, and I will admit to you that marketing is not my strong suit. I've done it myself only because I have no choice,
Right.
but I'm always looking for help in that field because it's just not my wheelhouse. So over the years, I have met with different persons in marketing, and again, I'm always looking to bring someone on. The biggest hurdle for me has been, for a lot of marketing professionals, I'm too small. I'm too small.
Wow.
The first question they ask me is, how much money do you want to make, next year?
Mm-hmm.
And, like I said, I'm a small business. I'm less than small. So right now, $100,000, $200,000 a year just isn't attainable, especially if it's just me doing the work, right?
Right.
Yeah, but no, someone who, again, understands my business, someone who is willing to work on a smaller scale is definitely someone I'm looking forward to working with.
Are you open for businesses outside the United States, like businesses overseas, to looking to partner with you and help you in maybe marketing your business and then sharing a profit out of the business? Are you open for these kind of ideas? Because I see the whole world is shrinking now with whatever is going on. A lot of opportunities overseas, and companies and individuals collaborating and producing something great. So are you open for this idea, or you are going to be with like everything should be in the States, like in America, from America?
No. Matter of fact, I've been been a world traveler for
Oh,
quite some time,
great.
and yeah,
I'm sure you had a great time.
yeah. Well, for me, yeah, I have fun no matter where I am, right? But
Okay,
for me, travel is more about learning
true.
and networking than anything else. It really is. And so, yeah, I mean, my goal is always to meet others wherever I am and to form those relationships and hopefully add to my business for sure. Right now, I'm actually in Dominican and I met a young lady here
Sure.
that's involved with real estate, and I think that is an awesome idea here that I would like to offer to my clients back in the States as well. Once we kind of get the ball rolling.
So you got something for the real estate guys, realtors and real estate
That's right.
companies. Awesome.
That, that's right. Yeah, still going.
Okay. So great to know you and your business model, and we're really happy that we've got options where people with small budgets, tight budgets basically, I can say, businesses or individuals
Yeah.
can reach you out to seek some help, of course paid help, seek some help and then take the value out of it. And you have plans to grow big, you have plans to educate kids, which is a great idea, and you are okay to partner with companies all around the world to get this business spreading all across. Yeah, if I'm clear.
For sure. Yeah. No, I don't have any boundaries. I'm willing to work with anyone from anywhere if it's for a good cause, for sure.
Awesome. Lee, before we go, do you have any message for specifically for the small business owners? Those are our audience most of the times. So,
Yeah.
any particular message before we call the podcast off?
My message to any small business owner out there or prospective small business owner is keep going, keep growing, keep moving, don't stop. Adapting to change is what separates the winners from the losers.
Ladies and gentlemen, we were talking to Lee Ennis, the owner and independent consultant with LeeEnnisTax.com. You guys know where to reach him on his website. You got his contact details. People can straight away reach him should they need any kind of financial guidance or help. Thank you so much for listening to Business Intelligence and Business Networking Podcast. Lee, thank you so much for coming on to this podcast.
Thank you. Have a great one.